Hello friends, welcome to Bookself. This is the daily series which we do every day, the Hindu editorial vocabularies. So today is 8th December 2017. So first article is defection and disaffection. This article is about suspension of Rajya Sabha member and anti-defection law. In the 10th schedule is anti-defection law, which is inserted by 1985 amendment to the constitution. This is very important for the preliminary examination. We know our honorable Vice President Mr. Venkaiah Naidu, who is the chairman of Rajya Sabha, recently disqualified two Rajya Sabha members rapidly because they have obligations of violating the letter of anti-defection law and ordered this type of case should be disposal between 3 months. However, those Rajya Sabha members had not disobeyed any anti-defection law. So such disqualification can create a problem for survival of this government because here presiding officer takes a political partisan's view and party-based parliamentary democracy should be abolished from our country. And this provision of 10th schedule should not be misused in anywhere or in the parliament outside or inside. So without going the further details, we are going to the vocabulary part. First one is defiled dissent. Defiled dissent means rigorous or objection. Rigorous objection. Next one is dissident. Dissident means a person who opposes official party. A person who opposes partial party, official party. Next one is hasty. Hasty means excessive speed. Excessive speed. Next one is mutilated. Mutilated means disagree with anyone. Disagree. Disagree. Next one is tantamount. Tantamount means equivalent or identical. Equivalent or identical. Equivalent or identical. Next one is subverting. Subverting means undermine the power of authority. Undermine the power of authority. Next one is necessitating. Necessitating means make someone necessary. The next article is underwater reinforcement. This article is about Navy's submarine arm off and a wake-up call for acquiring a DSRV, that is Deep Submerged Rescue Vessel. So, on the 15th anniversary of Indian Navy's submarine arm, Chief of the Naval Staff Admiral Sunil Lambha provided the appropriate context for the Indian Navy submarine arm. India's first submarine was INS Kalvari in 1967. This short one-liner is very important for the preliminary examination. So first is India's first submarine was INS Kalvari in 1967. INS Kalvari. 1967. The next is India built his own SSBN, that is nuclear propelled submarine equipped with a nuclear trip ballistic missile, that is INS Arihant. And all these things we achieved due to our dedication and rigorous professionalism of human resource. Okay. For due to emergency, we have to invest in DSRV. Recently, an accident happened in Argentina, but in the emergency time, they did not survive all the things due to absence of DSRV. So, India started to develop its own DSRV with Western Germany, but it was cancelled in the time of Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi. Due to political interest, this was happen all the time. but it should stop. But if we have to strengthen our navy and competing with the world, we need to stop this, and we need a good legislative committee. So now we will go into the vocabulary part. First one is augmented. Augmented means excited or illuminated. Illuminated. Next one is inducted. Inducted means admit someone formally on a position. Admit someone formally on a position. Next one is stoic. Stoic means indifferent or immutable. Immutable is perfect word for this. Immutable. Next one is ineptitude. Ineptitude is very easy. It means stupidity. Next one is peremptority. Peremptority means it's very easy. Insisting, obedient. Insisting, obedient. Someone. You are just insist someone to be obedient. Vagaries. Vagaries means freak. We normally use this word. Vagaries, freak. Next one is sanctity. Sanctity. Sanctity means purity or holiness. Purity or holiness. Or holiness. Next one is glassed over. Glassed over is an idiom. It means to cover up a mistake or crime. Then we use glassed over. When we cover up a mistake, then we can use this word glassed over. Next one is intrepid. Intrepid means fearless. Fearless. The next article is getting back on track. So second quarter national income came up, and we can see growth came up to 6.5% in GDP, and it shows GDP has been able to lift its head up. Some people are annoyed by the extra emphasis given on GDP growth. But one must remember that GDP growth can usher good development in the future prospect. And we can see from this second quarter income, manufacturing sector is front runner. It grows from 7 to 12%, and looks like it crossed the hurdles of the demonetization and the GST. And all other sectors also has been improving right now. The growth rate is low for only agricultural purpose, only 1.7%. But it is okay because it was strong in the last year. One should not always ask for growth over good year, okay? The growth rate GFCF below GDP, which is concerning matter. GFCF, we have to know that what is GFCF. It means, for the full form is gross fixed capital formation. The full form of GFCF is, I will repeat for you, gross fixed capital formation. And what is GFCF ratio? GFCF ratio is gross fixed capital formation divided by gross value added. GFCF ratio means GFCF divided by GV. GFCF gross formation, gross fixed capital formation divided by the gross value added. In other words, you can say the share of GFCF in gross product. It shows how much of total factor income is reinvested in the new fixed asset. So what is the reason behind it? The reason is lack of private investment, which need for our country. GVA has moved up, so one might think to improve now. But there are some concerns here. Public administration will not be much of help because the fiscal deficit is almost reached the budget level. only good private investment can push this growth. Okay, so we expect GDP might be 6.5% in the next year. So that's the vocabulary. Now we will going with the vocabulary. First one is a flash in pan. It's not a vocabulary, it's a phrase. It means unpredictable someone, unpredictable something. It means unpredictable something. Unpredictable something. Next one is prerequisite. Prerequisite means required as a prior concern. Required as a prior concern. Required as a prior concern. Prior concern. Next one is dispute. It's a very easy one. Dispute means unagree or argue or moot. Argue. Argue. Next one is corresponding. It's also easy one. Similar. Similar. Next one is disparities. Disparities means inequality. Inequality. Next one is substantial. It's a very easy one. Embodiment. What is embodiment means? Please comment down below. We have already discussed in the previous lesson. Please see our previous lesson. Next one is intractable. Intractable means turbulent or uncontrollable. Uncontrollable. The next article is capital crisis. Jerusalem was not the part of Israel under US plan in 1947. It was conquered later, so UN does not recognize it. This relocation of embassy of US recently, what was happened, that Trump relocated his embassy in Jerusalem. It might help Trump as he will get more Jewish support. And this has not happened before in the time of any president of US. So this is a matter of political, ethical and legal implication. By recognizing Jerusalem as the Israel capital, Trump has complicated the nation theory. UN Security Council resolution was withdraw diplomatic mission from Holy City. This was the resolution of UN Security Council. And Trump contradicted this theory. So first vocabulary is endanger. Endanger means jeopardize. Endanger. Jeopardize. We already discussed about the jeopardize in our previous lesson. Okay, please see our previous lesson. It is very important. Next one is annex. Annex means supplement or increase. Supplement. Next one is gambit. It's a very easy one. A sacrifice for some coming advantage. If you have some advantage, you know that it is coming and you sacrifice for it, then you can use this gambit. A sacrifice for coming advantage. A sacrifice for coming advantage. Next one is repression. Repression means restrain. Restrain. Second infinitive I already told you. Endorse. Endorse means support. Normally actors endorse different types of product, like Shah Rukh Khan endorse Fair and Lovely or Fair and Handsome. That's why endorse, like support. That's it for today, guys. If you like this lesson, please subscribe our channel and please rate, review and recommend, which is very necessary. Please comment down below if you have any problem. We'll reply in 24 hours. So thank you guys. Thanks for watching.